Hey everyone, Seamus Evans here, Ambassador for Tourette Syndrome Association Australia. I get asked so many times, how do you redirect your tics? I had to learn how to redirect my tics so I could have my television job and my career on TV. I had to learn how to redirect them and disguise them into my body language so I could be on television, on screen, and my Tourette's not be visible. Wasn't easy. It's not an easy thing to do. It's an ongoing management. So it's not something you can do once and that's it. It's gone forever. I had to develop the different techniques to be able to maintain that management. And I found it was a lot easier than suppressing. You shouldn't suppress. You should never suppress your tics. If you have tics, let them out. Suppressing is really tiring. Management is just always being conscious about it. In fact, I've had to do it recently. There was a tic that I've gotten recently that I do not like. I don't like this tic, and I've had to put a lot of energy and effort into redirecting it and changing it. The tic is this. I don't know why, but it's like my body won't let me go unless I get some weird sensation of... And honestly, it could go for so long, like minutes at a time. I'll be in the middle of a conversation with someone and I go... It's really annoying. I didn't like that, so I've had to change it. And like I said, it's an ongoing management. So I had to sit there and go, okay, well, what is it? What is it that I want? What's the feeling that is satisfying that tic urge? And it's the tongue. So what I have had to actively do when it's not a tic, I have had to actively tell my brain, hey, I want to do this tic. And so I've started going and purring like a cat, making that little sound on the edge of my tongue, because that's the sensation that I want. So I've had to literally force my brain to go, do this, and I'll do it soft. And I've had to do it way more than I tic. I've had to do it more frequently, more often. It's like scratching the itch before your arm gets itchy, if that makes sense. So I have had to literally force that behavior, actively, consciously force it out, because that's what I wanted to change. So far, that hasn't come back yet. That has gone and I've redirected it. The crazy thing about Tourette's of what I've experienced and with my tics is although I've tried to force it to be this tic, it's actually turned into this tic. Either one of those three variations. This management technique that I've applied to my life, that's what's worked for me. You might experience something different. And it's always up to the individual to explore their own Tourette's, their own tics, to see what works for you. There is a therapy called CBIT, Cognitive Behavioral Intervention Therapy. And a lot of psychiatrists do that therapy. So good luck if you're on that path. I never went down that path. I've had to learn this myself. If you're a lazy person, and don't get me wrong, I have been lazy in my life. Like, I love being lazy. Sometimes I'll just wake up and go, nah, not doing anything today. And I'll lay in bed all day, I'll watch movies all day, and I won't do anything. So I can be a lazy person. So when it comes to redirecting my tics, because I know the effort that goes into doing it constantly, all day, throughout the day, every day, for weeks, months on end, sometimes I couldn't be stuffed. It was only after about 6 months of this tic really annoying me, gave me the motivation to go, right, that's it, I don't care. Because sometimes tics come and go, and I've been waiting for this one to leave, thinking it's got its own lifespan, it'll leave. Because it used to be around years ago, but it's come back. And it wasn't going away. So I needed to boot it out of my life. I've been doing this for, I'd say, 2 weeks already, and I don't get that debilitating... I don't get it anymore. I can now more freely... It doesn't stop me. It doesn't stop me in my tracks. Even though the tic itself isn't gone. You don't get rid of it. Tics don't go away. You've got Tourette Syndrome. It'll happen forever, your whole life. But you just have to be a little bit more active on understanding your tics, understanding what triggers them, understanding what the feeling is, if you're tired, if you're anxious, if you're stressed, if you're excited, if people are watching you, if you're talking about it, if you're constantly thinking about it. It's like flowing like water, going with it and understanding what makes you tick more and what makes you tick less. And then when you're in a really great frame of mind about your Tourette's, then you can start playing with it. Like I said, this is what I do and this is what's helped me. It may be different for you. So if you are on your Tourette's journey, good luck with it. Try everything. I had to tell myself never to give up, never to get let down, never to get upset, never get frustrated with my tics, and just keep on trying. Because if I gave up, well, then it would never happen. But I had to keep trying over and over and over and over. Sometimes I get it. It's so annoying. It's so hard. It's so frustrating. But I just have to keep telling myself, just keep trying to redirect, keep trying to manage, keep trying to find a new tic, find that sensation, really explore your body and the movements, and really try and find what that tic is. This is my thinking, and this is what I had to do to be able to maintain a 7-year career on television. Managing your tics can also be really difficult. So I had to tell myself, well, which one do I want to manage? Which one do I want to redirect? I don't want to redirect all of them. Do you know how much effort that is? I'm lazy, remember? So I just picked one at a time. And what I would do is I would go, well, what's a movement that isn't so visual, isn't so annoying to have to do 300 times a day? And my stomach tensing. I would tense my stomach very slowly and lightly. My psychiatrist told me when I was first diagnosed, I can't turn them off, but I can turn them down. So I've had to apply that mentality to my tics. Instead of doing big movements like that, which is what I really want to do, I would just slow everything down. I would explore that turning the volume down mentality. Not everybody is capable of redirecting tics. Not everybody is capable of managing tics. Tourette syndrome affects individuals differently. So your experience with Tourette's is different to my experience with Tourette syndrome. Because the approach I take on my tics might be different to the approach you take on yours. So as someone who's been living with Tourette syndrome my whole life, and you're brand new to it, if there's one thing I could say to you, it's just keep on trying, keep on going, keep on exploring, never, ever, ever give up. Because if you give up, then it'll never happen. Now, in order to actually be able to mentally be capable of redirecting and managing your tics, you have to be of a certain age. Your brain has to actually mentally develop, because throughout our lives, our brains aren't actually fully developed. Our brain is only fully developed by, I think, the age of 21. And to be honest with you, I don't think my brain's fully developed. Like, I have been quite immature my whole life. When I was at school, I was very young-minded. It was only after school that I actually started to mature and my brain started to develop. And I started to think like an adult. And everybody is in a different development stage. So if you're going through a phase at the moment and you're like, it's not working, it just might take a few more years. I know that might be hard to hear, but it's whatever's applicable to you and your life. So if you're on your Tourette's journey, I wish you all the best. Good luck. Keep going, keep trying, see a psychiatrist, see a therapist, read up on Tourette's as much as you can, because, to be honest, I am learning so much about Tourette syndrome. I've had it my whole life, but I'm learning so much more since I've started researching it and becoming an ambassador for Tourette Syndrome Association Australia. So if you can read up and expand your own wisdom and knowledge and understanding of Tourette's, it might help you understand your Tourette's better. So if you've got a technique for managing your tics, I'd love to hear them. Write it down in the comments, subscribe to my video channel, and give me a like. And I would love to know how you redirect your tics, because hey, I might learn from you.